Hey ANPers, this is Dr. Jones checking in. This is ANP1 Lecture Test 5, Video 18, where we cover page 19. I've recorded this before and it didn't work, so we're going to try for a shorter version where we don't cover the intro to Chapter 14, we just cover page 19, covering Chapter 14, and see if it will record this time. The tech issues are frustrating for me and for you. I'm sure you're tired of hearing about them. But I share them because I want you to know that frustration is part of life and it's part of the process, and you keep on. When you're not on camera, you can't fuss, but then we keep on because the education must go on. All right. There is nothing on this picture that you don't need to know. There's the basics of all of Chapter 14, and everything on here is relevant. Let's see if I can move me out of the way. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so the cerebrum, let's see, last time I was able to get a highlighter going here. What color is this highlighter? Hello, perfect. Okay, so the cerebrum is this part here. The cerebrum is the main part of the brain. It's what I call the thinky part because it does a conscious thought. When you're thinking about test questions and trying to answer, your strategies and all of this are up here in the prefrontal cortex of the cerebrum, but this whole area that I've outlined in yellow highlighter is the cerebrum. So, and like it says here, memory, conscious and subconscious regulation, skeletal muscle contractions, yada yada. There's more to it, but we'll get there. The cerebral hemispheres are the two halves of the cerebrum. There's a left and right cerebral hemisphere. We're looking at the left cerebral hemisphere. There is a mid-sagittal crack in between them that is on the lab list. So again, if you haven't gotten into lab, you absolutely need to do that because there's a lot more terms on this last lab test, and they're not things you've heard of before, right? Like the femur you've heard of, the biceps you've heard of, and now we're talking about the diencephalon, the thalamus, the hypothalamus. It's lots of fun. So these words do take a little more time to memorize. Most of these lecture videos, I have a card, which should be up here-ish, right somewhere around the 1 minute mark, a little before or a little after. So, okay. The cerebral cortex is this outer surface of the brain. It's kind of like an orange. If you're looking at an orange and it hasn't been cut open, then you're looking at the rind of the orange. Now, if you cut it open, you can see that the rind doesn't go all the way through. There's a picture back here. Give me. Nope. Yep, that was it. Go back. No. There we go. Okay, so here where the cerebrum is cut, you can see the rind. You can see this outer bit, which is cerebral cortex. And this is different because it's gray matter. Gray matter is made of the somas and dendrites, whereas this other stuff in here is white matter, which is myelinated axons, somas, dendrites, and unmyelinated axons. And so here is kind of like a navel orange where it's got folds in it. You can see it kind of folds in, but you can see on both the horizontal section and the frontal section, you can see this edge of the cerebral cortex where it folds in. And actually right here, you can see the insula, which is a lab term. Okay, so the cerebral cortex is the outer edge of the brain. It's gray matter, and it's the surface of the cerebrum. So again, if you're looking at the surface of the cerebrum, you're looking at the cerebral cortex. Just like if you're looking at an uncut orange, you're looking at the rind. Same difference. wrinklier on a brain though. Okay, we were at the very beginning. Here we go. All right, so next is the term gyrus, 1 gyrus, 2 gyri. The gyri are the elevated folds, these parts that are raised and closer to the surface of the inside of the skull. The sulcus, a sulcus, is a shallow groove. Let's go to the pen. And these are the indents, the parts that are folded in. The shallow ones are a sulcus, 1 sulcus, 2 sulci. And the deeper one are the fissures. This one is the lateral fissure, and this one is the central fissure. This central fissure is on the lab test. The lateral fissure is not. It's like a sulcus, but it's a bigger crack. Okay. The cerebellum is this part, and it coordinates SNS movements. We're going to kind of gloss over the cerebellum, but new research is showing that the cerebellum is a lot more involved in a lot more processes than we knew. So lots of new information that's really interesting coming out about the cerebellum. So if you're looking for a topic for your extra credit essay, consider new research on the cerebellum and what we are now learning. The cerebellum also has a hand in that we didn't know about before, so always fun. All right, the diencephalon includes the thalamus and the hypothalamus. And it also includes the epithalamus, which isn't on the lab list. So the thalamus, hypo means below, epi means above. Next on the list, the thalamus is a relay center for sensory information, as it says. The hypothalamus does emotions, ANS, and hormones. We'll talk more about that when we talk about hormones. The pituitary gland is an endocrine gland. That's our pituitary gland right there, isn't it? And we will talk about it a whole lot more next semester. For 2402, the second test is the endocrine test, and we will talk a whole lot about the pituitary gland, the lobes of the pituitary gland, all the functions, good stuff. Not today, though. So the brainstem, as you can see here, includes the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. Brainstem. The midbrain is technically called the mesencephalon. I always accept midbrain for the lab test. Mesencephalon's fine too. And it processes visual auditory information and maintains consciousness. It does some of the reflexes that we will talk about, some of the cranial reflexes. The pons, the pregnant seahorse belly here, relays sensory information and has some role in subconscious SNS and ANS control. And the medulla oblongata also relays sensory information and has some ANS functions. Okay, so we're going to do this super short version of this video and pray that it takes this time. So, well, best of luck to all of us. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Education must go on. Dr. J.